Good morning, everyone. This is your host, Dorcas Juliet, and I want to take this moment to welcome you to From My Pen, sponsored by 810 Studios Network, Clinton, North Carolina. We are here this morning to greet you, to love on you, and to thank you for tuning in with us. We have a special session this morning, and I am so excited about it. We're going to talk about National Women's History Month. It is going to be a great time. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about some great women, some what they have contributed to our lives, to the country, to the world. And we're going to recognize some phenomenal women. And I'm going to get started. I'm going to get at it right now. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity to be here to greet you and to hang out with you for a little while. Then I want to go into a few women that helped save my life. They were there when I wanted to throw in the towel, when I wanted to give up. Oh, I felt like I did. So I want to give honor to these women, my sisters, Elder Janice Brown, Phyllis Goodman, my daughters Adrian Carter, LaWanda Carter-Bell, Sharice Harding. Then I want to give honor to my granddaughter, Zaria Bell. And guess what? I want to give honor to Natalia Dozier. Natalia is only 1 year old as of today. Even though she's not a woman, she gave me a run for my money. She was born prematurely a year ago, and she almost left us. But today I'm reporting to you that this little woman made history because she survived. She almost left us, but she's still here today. And I tell God, thank you for that. So thank you for allowing me to take that opportunity to give honor to those beautiful women. And one more, Tamika Robinson, that gave me this opportunity, this platform to come to you every week to talk to you about great authors, great people that contributed to our community and to our society. I want to start again with a great author that touched my heart, oh my goodness, over 20 years ago. I grabbed a hold of a book from our Christian bookstore at our church. And during that time, I was reading. And the Bible is my head book. The Bible is my Savior book. The Bible is my life-changing book. In addition to the Bible, I grabbed hold of some other books that helped me along this journey we call life. And speaking of journeys, I want to introduce to you this particular book. This book is entitled Journey to the Well, written by Vashti McKenzie. Vashti, or Bishop McKenzie, belongs to the Methodist Church. And she was one of the first bishops that was ordained as bishop for the African American Methodist Church. And I'm just so proud of her. She's written 6 books. And this particular book is one of my favorites. In this book, she lets us know in each chapter, and she calls them lessons too. She writes different things in each chapter about how to survive this world. She gets her references from the Bible. She goes straight to the Samaritan woman. The Samaritan woman was the woman at the well. And I know you've heard of that, the woman at the well. Well, she was from Samaria. And Jesus went to her and ministered to her. And the disciples like, really, Jesus, you're going to a Samaritan woman, and you know we don't have dealings with Samaritans. But Jesus went there. Isn't it just like Jesus? He went there anyway to witness to her and to let her know that she can be saved as well. She said, what are you to do with me, Jesus? I'm from Samaria. We don't have any dealings with you, and Jews sure don't have any dealings with us. So Jesus let her know that she was just as good as anybody else. She said, well, I had a husband. I got a husband. I don't have a husband. And Jesus says, no, you don't. And the man that you are with now is not your husband. She had 6 men in her life. I don't know how many of those men were her husband, but she had 6. And Jesus knew this. And so the woman from Samaria said, you must be a prophet, because nobody knew that about me. So this book is based on that one woman, that one Samaritan woman. She wrote this entire book based on that woman's life. She ran back and told her people, the city that she came from, come see a man that told me all about myself. So Miss Vashti McKenzie wrote this entire book based on that beautiful woman who was saved by Jesus Christ. In each lesson, she tells us well wishes, sabbatical, how to take a sabbatical and just be with God by yourself. Go to the beach, she says. Go to the beach by yourself. Look at the beauty of the ocean. Look what God did with the waters. The waters don't even come back and drown us. That's the beauty of God's work. So she tells us to go to the beach by yourself. Read a book. Read the Bible. Talk to God. Pray. Give him praise. Worship him on the beach. Go to a park by yourself. Go have lunch, Tamika. Go have lunch by yourself at the park and give God glory. I've done that before. It really works. You're just at the park by yourself and you're singing and listening to the radio and listening to good music and just talking to the Lord and trying to figure things out. And if you're a visionary, going to the park or the beach on sabbatical can help you to define what it is that you need to do. Go to the mountains. Oh, the mountains are beautiful. Now, I've been to the mountains. They are absolutely gorgeous. You might not think that much about the mountains, but I dare you to go visit the mountains. They are absolutely wonderful. Another one of God's creations, you can go, the sabbatical part that she really, really pushes us to do in this book. Go to your prayer closet at the house. Go to the bedroom. Shut the door. Be by yourself. Take a break from the job, from family. Okay, I know that sounds kind of, a little distant, but sometimes women need a break from family. Not hurting family's feelings, but women need a break from the job, from family. Anything that will hinder you in life to act like a stumbling block, to get in your way. Take a sabbatical. She also says in this book, learn the language. And what I mean by that, and what she shares with us, learn the language of positive thinking. Use the language of, you really look beautiful today. Talking to somebody else, giving someone else accolades. You really look fantastic today. I love listening to you. Give someone else compliments. Let someone else know that they look absolutely phenomenal. It works. It really does. Drive up to McDonald's. Look at the window. If you see a beautiful woman up in there, you tell that girl she looks good today. Not just give the money and take your food, but you let that young girl or middle-aged woman or whoever's working the window or inside, you look great. And I just want to thank you for waiting on me today, for taking care of me concerning my lunch. So give thanksgiving to other people other than yourself. Pray for others other than yourself. Uplift others. It works. You could be in despair, depressed, cast down, perplexed. But when you pray for others and give someone else a compliment, it works. It makes you feel good. And you've made someone else feel good. So that's one of the other things she talks about in this wonderful book. Learn the language, positive thinking. I think my co-pastor, and I want to include her in thanking God for someone who helped keep me alive. She told me a long time ago that if you uplift someone else, you forget what you're going through altogether. And you turn around and look back and wonder how you got over. You don't even remember what you're going through because you're helping someone else along the way. So with that said, I just want to instill in you on this morning, learn the language. Negativity, negative, don't do it, don't you do it. And she said a long time ago, my co-pastor, take one day, one whole day, and don't think anything negative. Talk positive. Can you do it? You know, as long as you're awake, maybe 8 hours, maybe 12 hours, can you do this? Speak positive all day long. And she touches on this as well. Can you talk positive all day? Can you give compliments all day? And sometimes you hear people say, it don't take all that. Yes, it does. And see, we say that so much that we push positivity all out the door. We say to ourselves, it don't take all that. Then the language of other people captures your mind, and you start thinking like they think. Well, you can't do that. Think positive for 12 and then go to bed. I promise you, if you go to bed thinking positive all day, maybe that'll get rid of some of those bad dreams that you're having, those demonic thoughts that you're having in your dreams while you're sleeping. You don't know where in the world this stuff is coming from that you just dreamed about. Like, wait a minute, I haven't seen that person in 10 years. Why did I just dream about them? Well, thinking positive and thinking on God's word and complimenting other people and learning the language will help you go through this life a little bit more easier. So those are just some of the subjects that she touches on. Again, Bishop Vashti McKenzie, Journey to the Well. Great book, great read. It's on Amazon.com. The next book I want to share with you is Gems for the Journey, written by Vikki Johnson. This book was published around 2005. It is found on Amazon.com. Amazon has everything. So this book as well, as old as this book is, and the one I just shared with you, these books are still found on Amazon.com. Gems for the Journey is similar to Journey to the Well, but it's just a little bit different. On each page, there's 165 gems for the journey. And on each page, not a chapter, there is a gem for your journey. Gem, G-E-M. There is information, words of encouragement, words of inspiration. They're going to touch your heart, your mind, and your soul. Let's say you wake up tomorrow, and if you buy this book tonight or tomorrow, when you purchase the book and when you get the book in the mail, the first day will be day one. And you're going to read each gem each day, Monday through Sunday, until you get to day 165. Well, what do you do, Miss Dorcas Juliet? There's 365 days in the year. This year, 366. So what do I do if I reach gem 165? Well, you start over. Guess what? You start over again. Or you can do this. You can say, well, gem 50 really blessed my heart. So you go back to that gem 50. Well, what if I didn't really get the joy of the Lord restored in my heart? Well, you go back to the gem that told you what you need to do to get that joy restored. I really like this one. Let's say you're missing out on your joy. You're missing out on your testimony. You're not able to testify anymore about the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You're not able to enjoy your job anymore. You start saying, I got to make the donuts instead of going on doing your job, going on to clock in, as we say. Sometimes we don't want to clock in, but there's a gem in here for that as well. What if you're having problems with your spouse, your husband, your wife? Your children are on Mars and your husband is on Venus. What do? There's a gem in here for that. The gems are like a paragraph and a half. They're not that long, so this will really capture your heart, and it's easy read. It's a very easy read. Vikki Johnson really touched the heart of me as well with this book. I still read it. I bought it 10 years ago, and I still read it. When things aren't going so smooth, I grab Vikki's book, and I go to a gem that is referring to what I'm going through. Life is a trip, but don't fall, because these kind of books, these kind of books that are not self-help, but they're self-inspiring. They lift us up and they give us inspiration and strength. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. So what's that power? We get the main source of power from God's holy word. In addition to God's word, we get our power from good reading, from good writers. Elder or Bishop Vashti Murphy, Vikki Johnson. And then there's another book that's coming up that I want to share with you that is also going to lift you up and inspire you and give you a jump shot. A jump shot. I said jump shot. Well, a jump shot really does rejuvenate us in the game of basketball. You know, when it's time for someone to get the ball on either team, you do sort of a jump shot. Well, these books will give you a jump shot into moving on a little bit further in this thing we call life. So that is Gems for the Journey to the Well, and last but not least is Storms Pass, So Hang On. Storms pass, so hang on. It doesn't say storms come, which we already know that. It says storms pass, so hang on. I think that's a pretty good topic for a book. Nancy Hoag wrote this book called Storms Come But Hang On. Storms pass but hang on. And in this particular book, she talks about the storms of life. You know, the storms rage in our life. They're pretty hurtful at times, but they come. They're dangerous, but they come. So what do you do when a storm comes that's dangerous? You hang on. The hurricanes that we've had in the last 20 years, some of them I've lived through and you lived through. Floyd, Fran, the hurricane that we had in 2016, the bad rainstorms that we've had recently, they come. Thunderstorms, hailstorms, they come. But guess what? They pass. What did you do? You hung on. So Miss Nancy, in this particular book, lets us know they do come, but they pass. So hang on. What she does is she lets us know that in this life, like the other authors, to hang on to those treacherous storms that may come your way. In the Bible, which is one of my favorite books, there was a storm that had come through on the ocean, in the sea. And the disciples was on this boat with Jesus. And the disciples were up on top of the boat. Oh my goodness, they were having a fit. They were like, oh my goodness, look at this storm. This is terrible. Guess where Jesus was? He was at the bottom of the boat asleep. The disciples got a little bit frustrated, and they says, I can't believe we're up here going through this storm, and Jesus is asleep. Well, they said, Jesus, how could you possibly sleep with all of this going on? And Jesus said to them, oh my goodness, y'all, where's your faith? Where is your faith? And then Jesus calmed that storm right down. So the storm happened. The disciples had a fit, but Jesus told the sea to be still. So the disciple says, what manner of man is this, that he even tells the winds and the rain and the water and the thunder and the lightning to be still? Well, that's the God we serve. That's who Jesus is. So that's what this book is about, letting us know to be still. Is that easy? It's easier said than done. It's easier said than read. You know, we can read all 3 of these books and 20 more. But then what do we do when we don't know what to do? You keep standing. I think Donna McClurkin said, when you've done all you can, what do? Just stand. Oh my goodness, I just felt that one. You still stand. I was going to say I don't care what you say, but I do care what you say. So in this book, storms pass, but hang on. Look at me rocking and rolling. The storm is pushing me from left to right, from right to left, but I'm hanging on. I'm going to hang on to God's unchanging hand, his unchanging word. I don't have any other choice. What else am I going to do? How else am I going to survive this life? How else am I going to keep going through MS? How else am I going to go through some of the things that my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren go through? How else am I to go through those kind of storms? You know, there's family storms. It's not all just about your personal storm, just you. But there's family storms that you have to endure. You know, like I just said, your sisters, your brothers, your children, your grandchildren. How in the world do you go through the storms of your grandchildren or your children that are maybe on drugs? That's their storm, but it's your storm too. What about your brothers and sisters that are enduring cancer? You think it's just their storm? No, it's your storm too. What about you just lost a loved one? And it might not be grandmama that was 90 years old. It just might be your 5-year-old grandchild or 16-year-old daughter. You know, there's been loss of life within the last couple of weeks that I'm aware of. Car accident. Lady and her brother died in a head-on collision. Another young lady that go to our church lost her daughter. Young lady. So the storms of life are not always my storm, my personal storm. There's also the storms that your family, your friends encounter. They're part of your storms too, because you got to pray for them. You got to fast for them. You got to love on them. And you can't pray for them. You can't say, I'm going to pray for you, and then walk off and never pray for them. Pray for them right there. When you look at them in their eyes and you look at them right in their face, you pray for them right there. That's just some advice. You know, I'm not trying to bark at you. Just some advice. Pray for your friends and your loved ones right there when you're letting them know that you're going to pray for them. So hang on. Hang on. Storms come. Hang on. So thank you, Nancy Hoag, for this delightful book that is another one of my favorites. It's a good read. It's good encouragement and good inspiration for you to hang on. For you to hang on in there. You know, like I said a while ago, it's easier said than done. It's a process. It takes work. It could be next week and you turn 68 years old. You still got to work at it. You might turn 70 next month. You still got to work at it. Life is a process, and we need all the help that we can get. Good reads, good word, good inspiration, good words of encouragement. I admonish you to grab a hold of either one of these books, Journey to the Well, Gems for the Journey, and Storms Pass, but Hang On. Because at the end of the tunnel, there is life, and life is worth living. I heard someone say today, I think I want to live and not die. So with that said, grab a hold of one of these books. Let's live together and let's read together. Thank you for joining us this morning from My Pen, sponsored by 810 Studio Network. They are the bomb. Tune in.
Hey ladies, I would like to invite you to the Women's Conference Holy this year at Canonsville Event Center. This conference is more than our attempt to excite you. Our desire is to bring women into a deep knowledge of God through Jesus Christ. And we are believing that souls will be saved. Our God's people will be equipped to carry out His will in their everyday life. This year, we specifically want to instill a deep appreciation of God's holiness and call on every believer to be more holy. Then we will see salvation, healing, and miracles as they follow in the wake of the gospel. You don't want to miss it.